just had one final follow-up question with respect to consensus building. So you said that it is important to have consensus when pushing through major reform. I would like to ask you a question regarding Agniveer. There might be some pushback from the BJP's coalition partners from Bihar. So how do you think the present government can navigate through some of those issues and reach an agreeable conclusion with respect to the law?
You're talking about short-term welfare measures?
With respect to Agniveer, sir.
Agniveer.
Yeah.
You see, if you blindly go back to the old practice, 15 years service typically, and then a pension for the next 30, 40 years, because remember, the average lifespan is increasing in the country. If at 17 or 18 a youngster joins the armed forces, by 32, 34 is retiring. We expect them to live until 80, 85 because the average lifespan is increasing. For the next 45, 50 years, pension has to be paid and is unfunded. You did not put away the money in advance. And it's index linked. Therefore, not only is it price index linked, as prices go up, pension goes up, but it's also wage index linked. With every pay revision commission, pension goes up. So, if you retire, let's say, with a 50,000 rupee income, you may draw a pension of 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs later. From whom? The taxpayer. Which taxpayer? Future taxpayer. For what? For services rendered in the past. It's affecting intergenerational equity. That means we're destroying our children's future in a fit of self-serving decision today. Therefore, if it's necessary to go back, either you persuade with facts that national defense is compromised and the exchequer is depleted, or you do one of three things. One, armed forces can go back to the same way as the other government services in the country, both union and states. You can go back to contributory pension scheme so that there is a pension fund available. The future generations don't have to pay for ever-increasing pensions. It's absolutely necessary. Two, you can increase the years of service subject to the feasibility, because no, the fitness and other things. Instead of 15 years, make it 25 or 30 years. They can go together actually, these 2 points. Three, whatever you do, you make sure that there is a fund available today, not 30 years later, but today, put it away as a pension fund, sufficient to meet the pension needs 25, 30, 40 years later. Go by discounted cash flow and decide what is the amount required in order to meet the pension obligation 30 years later and put that money here. If we don't do that, you're guaranteeing destruction. You're guaranteeing destruction of the country. There is no future. Next generation is finished. There is no major country on earth. There is no major country on earth, and there is no democracy on earth where unfunded, index-linked pension in perpetuity is paid from the exchequer by the next generation from the tax money. It's just not feasible. India is going to be destroyed. So Agniveer must not be viewed in isolation. If indeed you want to go back to some kind of a status quo, then you change the status quo in other aspects. A, contributory pension. B, increase the length of service simultaneously. And C, in any case, put the fund today. At least you know what is the money you're spending. Then, whether it is Mr. Nitish Kumar or some other party in the governing coalition or in opposition, or the economists and the society and the media, they understand exactly what is the obligation, what is the burden. Now, you cannot take decisions to affect the future without paying for it now, because you're postponing the liability. Nobody elected you to destroy the future 25 years later. They elected you to manage the country the next 5 years. So if you're going to make a decision affecting the future, make a provision today.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure thank you for your wonderful insights into some of today's challenges. Yeah.
Thank you, Kaushal.